This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 655 for the week of Sunday, January 17th, 2021. My name is Zach.
And my name is Ed.
My name is Steve.
And my name is Alex.
And on today's show, we have Law, fangirl. Is that going to be the Law aficionado?
Law
enthusiast. The biggest enthusiast might be Trafalgar Law himself, but in a close second, we have Joe with us. How's it going, Joe?
It's going fine.
And we have YouTube extraordinaire. Happy to have him back on the show from the other side of the world. We have Grand Line Review, otherwise known as Liam. How's it going, Liam?
Thank you very much. It's going fantastic, and I'd like to be known as the Whoop Slap enthusiast from here on out, please.
Yes. We always welcome Whoop Slap enthusiasts on this podcast. In fact, you have to love Whoop Slap to be on this podcast. That has been the secret up through this
I had
point.
to fill out the form, and I checked that box.
Next One Piece Podcast Jeopardy will feature a category all about Whoop Slap.
Yeah.
What does Whoop Slap think of this?
That'll be the answer to every question.
Says?
What does Whoop Slap think of this? Yes. So first off, the character poll still going on at onepiecewt100.com/en if you speak English. And vote. You could vote once a day on whatever devices you have. Ed, what was your secret strategy to rigging the vote in the favor of your favorite character?
I mean, if you're forced to go into the office in this pandemic, just vote on every computer in the office. Why not?
Yes.
It's classic.
It's a great idea.
That's probably what happened with Gadatsu that one day in Asia.
Oh man, so cool! And yesterday, Carrot, I think, broke a top
And Buggy,
three.
I think.
I think she still is. I checked today, and I think she still is in one of the top three.
Oh,
Wow.
that's cool.
So those are like the
that's
trending top three. It's
It goes
not
until
necessarily
the end of February, right? Or what?
Yeah, it goes till February 28th. Japan. At the end of that day, Japan time, which will be easier for Liam to translate than us.
I'm
I
like
think
2 hours ahead of that.
Yeah, we're like 14 hours behind that or something right now. It's very confusing, but for me. But yeah, please check that out. Vote for your favorite characters. Whoop Slap enthusiasts here. We endorse that. Friend of the show, Roger, has been pushing Big News Morgans, which I also highly endorse. And Joey and Alex, I know you've been pushing like Chaton and those that are related to. I'm sure he's doing like Fujitora too, Joey, right, Alex?
Maybe. I know that the three that he's been alternating between are Tashigi, Gaimon, and Chaton.
He hasn't done. I'm a little surprised he hasn't done Fujitora as a Tora-san.
Fujitora does deserve some love. Maybe I will do that on my phone. I just voted for Chaton just now.
Too late. Sorry, Fujitora. Next time, Alex will get
my two votes tonight were Django and Chaton. I've been voting Django every day. I want to be the entire reason that Django has votes, period.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Yao voted once for Django, maybe, if he voted at all, which is iffy. There was also, we got to participate in something really special yesterday as of this recording. It's out on YouTube now. God's Will helped put together, for Direct Relief, a charity to help end hunger, and it was all One Piece. And we did our impossible One Piece podcast Jeopardy. It was just and we did Alex and Steve versus everyone else. And Alex, well, you know what? I won't say who won. You have to check that out to find out who won. But how did you guys feel? Steve, how did you feel participating in that?
Pretty good. It was a lot of fun, but I definitely learned. I'm like, oh, there is a level of nerdom that
we've exceeded.
That we've exceeded.
Yes.
Hey, I mean, you guys got the Gaspard question about, and because Zach made the question easier by making sure it was to say it was a movie villain.
I did make it easier, yes. But also,
I had a lot of fun. So did everybody else, and I think like I've kind of said something like this on the stream, but I'll say it again. Like knowing all trivia doesn't make or break you as a fan. If you like the series, you're a fan. So
yeah, if the only character you can name is Luffy, you're still fine. You don't have to worry about that. But I mean, not even Zoro. Come on, what are you doing? Alex, you also released the latest episode of the exclusive Patreon show, Forced to Watch 4Kids. Do you want to tell everyone about what that's about?
Sure. Forced to Watch 4Kids is a podcast that we do on Patreon once a month. Me and Steve watch all of the 4Kids One Piece. We do 4 episodes per month. So we're not like, taking our sweet ass time, but we're also not killing ourselves by trying to binge it either. And that way we can have a nice detailed conversation and get in some good goofs while we're at it. I think it's a really fun, entertaining podcast. People have told us that. So that's,
and I believe
it.
I've told you that.
How many episodes was the 4Kids dub?
100 and something.
Too many.
It's a complicated question because they skipped a lot. But
End of Alabasta. Post Alabasta filler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was getting to that, Ed.
Yeah.
It's Rainbow Mist was the last thing they ever did.
Oh, that's quite far if you're watching through all of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
but Laboon became an iceberg, so I don't know.
Yeah, they skipped the Twin Peaks. They skipped the Twin Peaks. They
I always do that
skip-
too.
They
The Twin Peaks arc.
Yes, they.
That was
they
a
have
weird
good coffee
one.
there. They have good coffee at that lighthouse.
Can't sell coffee to kids, so they
No.
didn't think there was anything to gain.
Once Crocus started speaking backwards, they had to tap out. They skip. I think they go right from the Reverse Mountain to Whiskey Peak, and then they skip Little Garden entirely, and then they just needed to get to Chopper as quickly as possible so they could milk that merch for all that it was worth.
Even
But it
though
was
they
too
gave
late.
Chopper different voices based on his transformations, so thus
Oh, yeah.
ruining the marketing capability as far as I'm
He's not adorable anymore.
now he's creepy. So yeah, you can check that out. That's the 7th episode. They're in the middle of what is called the Barati arc. They're
That's
in the middle of that right now. So you can check that out on patreon.com/One Piece Podcast. We also have alternate images, titles, lots of fun stuff. There were some fun ones on I think the last episode had some fun alternate images from Steve.
Well,
so
last
if you
week's
ever
episode
check
was
it
just a
out.
fun episode.
That was a crazy ass episode. If you skipped it, you're lost because we talked about Shinkugeki no Sanji, Shokugeki. Which one's?
that was good.
Which was good, and we kind of went off the rails. As we.
Oh, is that why you have Zoro bending over?
Well, to be fair, that was a line specifically in the
He
chapter.
dropped
Just
his
about.
big boy sword.
He called it
Big
his
boy
big
sword.
boy sword. That is from the chapter. We
That's what
did-
he called it.
I have so much fun riffing and covering those spin-offs, so I hope we get more.
Yeah, that was fun. But we don't have more next week. There's no chapter next week, but we will be going through volume 10 of the One Piece magazine with Steven, which is why he is not with us today. He has to prep for that. And it's all about rereading One Piece. So if you're just catching up with chapter 1000 or looking to catch up or looking to reread it now that we're at chapter 1000, it'll be an interesting issue for you. So Tori will be on a later date. She was supposed to be on next week, but we will have Vero on the 31st of January to round off the month. But with all that out of the way, we got chapter 1001 today. Ed, do we have an anime episode? Do you have that info in front of you?
I don't think we are going to have an anime recap this episode.
Then we're not going to have an anime recap this week. We'll have a double next week. And we have Piece Together. We all find this out at the same time here. So let's get into the show.
Yeah, pay attention to the Sam, Zach. You always forget Sam.
Yeah. This is the manga recap for chapter 1001, Battle of Monsters on Onigashima. And you could read this chapter and all chapters as soon as they come out in Shonen Jump and Manga Plus at shonenjump.viz.com and mangaplus.shueisha.co.jp. Ed, what's going on the cover here?
Well, Zach, we have another reader request. This is Jinbei resting luxuriously on a jellyfish bed. And you can see it, and it just sounds like it would go. And it appears to be deep under the sea. It's all dark and stuff. So yeah, Jinbei, like, he's a happy fish uncle.
It could also
Although-
just be night. It
Yeah.
gets dark under the sea at night too.
Yes.
Jellyfish also light up at night, so
That's true.
This is Jinbei's version of a hammock. This is missing from this picture. It's just like an ice cold beer in his hand.
No, resting on his gut in the hammock.
Ah, yeah.
That's right.
Cigarette hanging dangling off the lips.
There's not a ton to talk about with this one actually.
yeah, I was just
it's
thinking
cute.
like, good things on the top and not like on the tentacles or something.
Yes.
And then it made me think of Finding Nemo.
Then one of the Straw Hats would have to pee on him.
That's true. That's true. That's
It's
how,
true.
yeah.
As Australians, we are all taught that in school, by the way, in case you
Oh,
get
wow.
stung.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of if a building's on fire, you look for the exit or stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah,
Get
the
jellyfish.
stung?
The jellyfish and the stingrays are a bigger concern.
Must be nice to live in a
I
country where only the wildlife is trying to kill you.
All
Alex,
the
are
wild.
you insinuating that Australia has fire drills and jellyfish drills?
Yes.
He's not wrong.
No one corrects him. Anyway,
I like to think that at school they just randomly will drop a bunch of jellyfish from the ceiling.
this is
How
better
else are you
than
gonna learn?
this is better than doing the chapter. We could make up a bunch of things that we think exist in Australia and have Liam
Please,
confirm
please,
them.
listener, keep listening. We're not gonna just talk about
No,
this for
that's
3 hours.
Let's get into the chapter. Ed, let's start us off here.
Sure. So we start with Big Mom. She's yelling at Luffy. She says, "You miserable little brat! You're still going on about King of the Pirates." And Luffy stares on blankly, but with determination. And as Kaido is still on the ground, he's thinking, "His punch damaged me." And so the Worst Generation has a discussion amongst themselves. Zoro was talking about the hockey that Luffy learned from the old man in Wano, and Kid is also talking about the hockey, noting that it can hurt Kaido with physical blows.
But being
now.
very confused about it because
Yeah.
Kid's always out of the loop. He shouldn't have escaped so soon.
Killer is just laughing because he can't do anything else but laugh because they have a chance of winning now. And Law, on the other hand, has. You look like you have something you'd like to say, Law.
Do you?
He's gritting his teeth.
But enough of that. Oda cuts Law off, and Big Mom continues. Do you have any idea what it means to be king of the pirates? And again, Big Mom is just yelling on top of the menacing cloud while Kaido is still bent over on the left there.
It's an awful lot of responsibility. You have to feed them, you have to clean them, take them for walks.
So Kaido is rightly wondering what happened to Luffy after he destroyed him last time in Curry, and how few people there are who can truly fight Kaido. And we see a very impressive montage of them. Kaido is sort of hallucinating them behind Luffy. It looks like yeah.
He took the wrong kind of drugs today.
He got
and
hit in
now
the
he's
head really hard, man. What do you
That is
expect?
true. He did get hit really hard. He did get
So-
hit
Yeah,
in the
instead
head.
of seeing birds or stars circling around him, he sees the most powerful pirate.
Shanks, Odin, Whitebeard, Roger, and is that Rocks probably?
I think that was
Probably.
Yeah.
Shanks is there too.
How high is
He said
Luffy's ceiling? Straw Hat. So Kaido appears to be recovered. He chuckles to himself and he readies himself for a thunder. Next page.
Liam.
So after catching sight of Kaido's cheeky grin, Luffy invokes Future Sight, which has a vroom sound effect to it, to which he sees a club heading straight towards his face. And then we cut to a Thunder Bagua complete attack in a perfect epitome of artistic speed and power. Except this time Luffy manages to sort of dodge it, and he does this like little roly-poly behind Kaido with an ooh. And then Luffy puts on his best southern accent when he says, "Dang it! I was reading the future and everything. It's so fast." And he's also got this little throbbing action going on, which I personally think is kind of inappropriate mid-battle, but to each their own.
It's Rubberman.
And then Kaido addresses Luffy in the same manner to which I would address my dog by saying, "Very good boy." Or, "Very good boy. You won't let the same one hit you head on twice, which is a sentence that completely boggled my mind because I kept reading it as one hit. But no time for that because Big Mom is attacking with a heavenly ellipsis, after which point we cut to Zoro with a chick unleashing his swords and saying some plagiarized words with this Foxfire style business as we turn the page.
Heavenly Ellipsis is my favorite of her attacks.
That's right.
I love that Zoro looks like the panel where he's facing like the bottom of the page. That looks really cool. He's very fast.
We're at the point in the chapter where Ed just says how cool Zoro is every time he shows up. Please continue.
Down for that.
So, yes, Zoro has updated his browser. He's updated Firefox style. He uses Fire Flame Rend and cleaves Prometheus in twain.
On a serious question, Alex, does anyone still use Firefox? That's a...
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Firefox is what you use to install Chrome.
And Prometheus is feeling it. With an ag, he's quite beside himself.
So
fun. And Luffy is really surprised and delighted, and says, "Whoa, that's Kinemon's technique." And Zoro goes, "I stole it."
I just want to call back to all those years ago reading Punk Hazard and maybe even Trust Rosa thinking, oh, so Kinemon's probably going to teach Zoro how to cut fire. And then all these years later, Zoro's just like, yeah, I stole it.
I just saw him do it once.
It's way more apropos.
Hey, look, they trained for like 2 weeks. He could have taught them at some point.
That's right.
He's just strong enough to do it now.
And And Big Mom is aghast. She goes, "Oh no, Prometheus."
Prometheus.
What?
Prometheus. She calls out for Prometheus, who tries to put himself back together with a yow. So really feeling that sting. Of course, Zoro doing his duty as vice captain, telling Luffy, "Don't lose focus for a single instant, Luffy. These are two emperors of the sea." To which Luffy he doesn't see Kaido's club heading towards his face. But before he can do anything, Law uses Chambers and pops him out of the line of
Fire?
line of sight.
It looks like
line
a
of fire.
loading
There we go.
It looks like a loading circle.
Line of
It does look like a loading circle. Buffering.
Oh no.
Luffy, buffering.
It's beach balling really bad right now.
Yeah, he turned Luffy into a beach ball.
That's right. So Luffy didn't update his browser, unfortunately. But it's okay. Traffy saves the day. Trafalgar Law teleports Luffy right in front of him. He says, Traffy. He says, "Hey, Straw Hat, I just want to make one thing clear. I was already planning to move the samurai below." Of course, referring to last chapter as we see a little bit of flashback.
I was going to say, I love that there is a flashback of this here. Like, you could imagine Law like, "Oh, I remember this. Remember the time that this happened 5 minutes ago?"
Yeah, I do love that we literally were talking about this.
We were
in the last chapter discussion about like, oh wow, he just listened right to him.
Yeah,
more like tsundere di water law.
Yeah.
Didn't we also mention how it was like, I don't know, Joe, maybe I forgot who talked about it, but we said something like, "Oh, doesn't it show growth that Law was able to listen to Luffy here?" But when they first met, they were also like, "No, I'm not listening to you." And like, we actually mentioned that original conversation. I don't know. And then, no, they're all immature as they always are, as we find out in the next page.
It's pretty good, yeah. Yeah, he says, "I was already planning to move the samurai down below, but then you said, Trappy, send them all down below."
Oh my God, I hope that's how that ends up going.
I also hope that.
Joe.
And Solog grabs him by the collar and says, "That makes it sound like I was following your orders." And Luffy's like, "Who cares how it sounds? Same difference." And so they're bickering, and Kid just goes, "Is that right, Trafalgar? You're Straw Hat's henchman now?" And Law just snaps, "I would never." And Kid's like, "Oh, so when's the wedding? Look, it's no skin off my back which of you two losers wants to follow the other." And they both are like, "What?" And then Big Mama says, "Burn them all, Prometheus." "Yes, Mama. Heavenly bonbons."
By the way,
then-
when's the wedding? Kaido already got the invitation. Kid never got that invitation.
Aw.
Very, very old callback to what was I forget even the episode title. I just remember the image Maddie drew of the.
Trafalgar
was it
Leave.
Trafalgar lawfully married?
That's it, Trafalgar lawfully married. I knew we made that joke. Go ahead.
So Prometheus spits out some fireballs, and they're coming flying towards the captains. And Luffy goes, "Okay, then whoever reacts to these first is the loser." And Law's just like, "I'm not playing a game with you, idiot." And Kid's like, "See, coming up with these stupid games like that is why you guys are small time, even though I have the lowest bounty among us. But anyway." And then Luffy's just like, "All right, that's fine. I guess you're just losers then."
To be fair, good line. Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, that's what I'm still doing.
Yeah, it's the 2-page spread.
Yeah, we get these ridiculous panels of the three of them bracing for impact as they all get blasted by the fireballs. And Zoro just screams at them, "What are you trying to accomplish?"
It's that's truly what the will of D is. Double chin.
Double. It's like a triple chin.
Yeah, Luffy's got like a triple
Yeah.
chin.
Well, that's also because Luffy's rubber. He could do more chins. Just
Fair.
saying. Yeah.
God, I love the eye direction in these panels because they're all looking at each other,
Yeah.
waiting to see who flinches first.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't
Brilliant.
even notice that. Oh,
Amazing. Just absolutely.
So dumb.
it's very funny.
And Kaido steps in front of and goes, "Get back, Lennon. I want to see what they can do." She's like, "Again? You just can't help yourself, can you?" And Zoro ties his bandana over his head like the old days and says, "Don't get in my way, Hito Kiri Kamazo," referring to Killer, and goes, "I don't hear many people with that with a laugh that weird." We just get a fa ha ha from Killer.
I love that. This is another thing we talked about last chapter.
What was that?
Yeah, how he would
About-
know Kamazo, yeah.
How'd you know it was me?
This mask. Ed, go ahead.
Yeah. So he continues, "If I was using my punishers back then, you'd be dead right now, Zorojiro." And Zoro's like, yeah, the outcome would have been the same. So he starts out his attack 3-sword style, Purgatory, Onigiri, and using beheading claws.
That's killer,
And,
right?
Yeah.
that's
Killers do
killers
beheading
with
claws.
the beheading claws.
And Purgatory Onigiri is the attack he used to defeat Killer.
Zay. No, not. Yeah, he also used that against not Zayo, the other one in Fishman Island. That's like his big one.
Yozo?
Yeah, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
The other one
Say
does just
Zayo.
fine.
Yep.
No. Zayo was too busy getting clowned by Brooke.
That's true. Everyone was
Clown.
stepping all
That was
over
all
him.
planned.
See,
Wow.
I was supposed. I know. I was supposed to fight Zoro, but I'm fighting Brooke because you didn't expect.
I am so impressed you remembered Zayo's shtick. Like, what are the
He was like the best part of Fishman Island. Of course, I remember.
Zoidberg meant
Let's all
to
be
do
honest
that.
here. He was like the only gem in the new Fisherman Pirates.
Yes,
So,
yeah, yeah.
I back you up there.
Even
Yeah.
at the end when they're in prison, and he was like, haha, I plan to get old.
I feel like that's a funnier character in retrospect. At the time, I don't remember. Like, I remember he was funny, but like not like wasn't like a shining beacon of light then. But now it seems funny. Anyway, go ahead, Ed.
So we get a and Kaido laughs. "Well done." And Zoro's thinking, I gotta unleash this Enma a bit more. Damn it. And yeah, Kaido's done playing now, so he's like, I want to finish this all at once. And so the three captains stand together. Punk Rotten we get from Kid. Luffy goes Gear 4, and Law has the room set up, and Kaido dares him to charge at him. He's like, "Come at me, bro."
By the way, when you said Law has the room set up, it sounds like he's, making the table, setting the table, and putting the chairs down.
He's setting up a Discord chat.
Setting up the Discord. Steve.
So we get this wonderful 2-page spread of the 3 captains charging at Kaido with their super attacks here. Of course, like Ed said, Luffy doing Gear 4. Law is, setting up the room, setting the table before the guests arrive. And Kid is unleashing some sort of giant robot.
With a skull.
It's a General Frankie version.
Spiky skull.
Like, with this giant, skull. Has anyone checked on Brooke? Is he okay? It looks very much like Brooke a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, it's a skull.
Like it's an elongated skull as well because of the mouth.
There better be some metal in there, or else I'm gonna have some nits to pick.
Uh-oh.
I don't know where the hell this skull came from. Someone's probably going to point it out. It's like, oh, you see, 10 chapters ago.
Well, no, I was going to say Kid did mention how he was collecting as much crap as possible. So.
Oh yeah, he was dragging stuff, but this is like this is Eustace Kid's like wacky races mobile.
I love it. I love this design. I think it's really cool.
I mean, not to like jump ahead, but it's pretty much just like a floating like torso piece and then like 2 floating hands. It's like Andros from like Star Fox.
Yeah, 64. I was gonna say it's like a Lilac Wars boss.
Yeah, you just gotta see. There's their weak point right there in the palm. Kaido just has to swing for that. But I should mention what Law is bringing down. It's just a bunch of really jagged rocks. And
Whoa, what did you bring?
I
brought some rocks.
some jagged rocks.
I got a rock.
And then Kaido, with arms wide open, just laughs, says, "Whoa, no. There might as well be monsters in their own right." And Kid says, "We know you've got tough skin, but it's like, but can it?" Sorry, I'll finish the line. But can it save you from being crushed and compacted to death? Sounds like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch commercial. I prefer to see Kaido has tough skin, but can he see the cinnamon swirls a part of every bite? Luffy prepares a King Kong gun, and Law says, "I will go straight inside the body to deliver a surgical death." Isn't there a more correct term for that? Wouldn't it be
I'm gonna shank you?
No, I said like a surgical mishap. Like that just feels like a
medical malpractice. That's like his ultimate technique. Medical malpractice.
Yeah. Law's ultimate technique is leaving forceps inside somebody's body.
No, not the forceps.
Because this worked really well against Doflamingo.
That's true.
And Kaido just grins an evil grin.
No, my wound is getting infected because they left the forceps inside. Wow, this is getting a little real. Law.
And then the Akazaya 9 are just like, seriously? Like we couldn't do that?
Liam.
Sorry. All right. Then I believe we see the 3 attacks play out in order of effectiveness. So we have the Kong gun, which does actually look like it hurts Kaido. Then we have the Punk Vice, which looks very impressive, but I can't imagine does much. However, the attack that probably does by far the least is Law deciding to use the old tact and dropping some stones on Kaido. And immediately after that, we cut to this like little small panel of Law, and I can only imagine that what he's feeling is great shame. That was his, ultimate attack on an emperor.
Don't bring rocks to a punching party, I guess is the...
Yeah. Or when you promise to deliver surgical death from the inside, don't have an attack that's based on the exterior.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So we get to see a pile of rocks, and this amuses Big Mom greatly. She goes, ma, and then ha, 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 which is interesting. And that continues.
Which is an interesting observation.
It's an interesting choice. I didn't realize she had a ha, ha, ha as well as a ma, ma, ma.
Yeah, it goes ma, 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 ha, 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 ha.
See,
and then she does it again.
In Japanese is mother, so.
Oh, that's true.
I did not know that.
Profound insights.
What does it mean?
In any case, she laughs quite a bit more, and then Kaido springs out of the rocks doing his trademark laugh. Waroror.
Yeah, and we discovered last chapter, right, that is also probably fish related. His laugh. Anyway, the fishman himself comes out from below.
Whoa! Those are two very different things.
I said the fishman, 2 words, not 1 word. It's very important that grammar be.
My mistake. I forgot. We could hear an audible pause.
Yeah, kid stole Pearl's attack.
Punk Vice?
Oh, he did. Oh, sneaky.
Oh, yeah, because he crushed him between the 2 things. Yeah, Steve, how did you not notice that?
Because Pearl did not say Punk Vice of the Baratier arc.
I don't know which Baratier arc you're watching. Wait, I do know which Baratier arc you're watching, and it's Barati.
If it was the Barati arc, you'd be like, "Whoa, bro, surferboard smash!"
He is not kidding.
Attack, yes.
He is not
If
kidding.
you haven't listened to us yet, yes, that's how Pearl sounds.
Yeah.
Hate it so much.
All I remember him is referring to himself as the Pearl.
He's from the forest, right? Is that or the
It's from
jungle?
the jungle. That's
From the
a manga
jungle.
only thing, I believe.
Okay. Let's stop talking about Pearl here and finish this chapter off. So we
I guarantee you, we're the only content creators to have even the remotest discussion of
about Pearl.
It's the height of 2 emperors versus captains of the worst generation. We're like, remember the 4 kids stop at Pearl? We suck.
We're sick.
Steve, get out of here. So we have not Pearl, but instead the 2 emperors of the sea, Big Mom and Kaido, roaring above our worst generation pirates. Kaido, his dragon mouth agape says it would almost be a shame to kill you. I imagine it moves like a puppet, like just like up, like that. You know, those very. Anyway, it would almost be a shame to kill you, but you'd leave me no choice. Once you're dead, we'll take everything you have. Little do they know, they don't have very much except their friendships. Anyway. He's like, all your manpower and treasure will belong to us. And I don't know if this is Big Mom speaking, but I assume it is since she has her mouth open there. Although I guess she might just be laughing. Saying, you've got some poneglyphs too, I assume. I can't wait for that. And we see below Kid's, one of his arms seems to have been dislocated. I don't know if that was on purpose or not.
I think it's floating.
Just a floating arm.
Well, he's got magnet power.
It's like a Katakuri style attack.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is like Katakuri style. Law is standing on a rock, and we have Killer below them. Who here forgot Killer was here, even though he was in the chapter just a few pages before? And Luffy bouncing in his Gear 4 bounce man, and Zoro just being badass as he is, and Kaido finishing his speech. Mouth still agape, saying whoever wins gets that much closer to King of the Pirates. Oh my god, it's the thing that we've been talking about this whole time.
Zoro just says like, hey, I just want to be the world's greatest swordsman.
Yeah, like, dude, that's just take
you
it
can
down.
have it.
Yeah, I don't need to be King of the Pirate. I just want to cut you. The next chapter comes out January 31st, so we're off next week. But let's talk about thoughts about this chapter. Liam, I'll start with you.
With me, okay. So my thoughts with this chapter is pretty much just an overwhelming wow, because it really sort of sent me back in time about 14 years to the chapter where Garp first mentioned the Emperors of the Sea and that really comical in retrospect silhouette of Kaido, and just me thinking that it's gonna be a really long time before we actually fight these guys, but.
And
even I
right.
wasn't quite sure. Even I could not have predicted just how long that would be. So here we are in 2021, and we're actually doing the thing, and it's everything I could have wanted. Like, it's packed full of action, great comedy, and yeah, looking forward to seeing how this turns bad pretty soon.
Joe.
Hey, I really like this chapter. It, like, obviously not too much happened because everyone's still fine. Everyone's just kind of sizing each other up, but like Liam said, there was a lot of really funny moments and a lot of really badass moments, and it just makes me excited to see what the rest of the fight's gonna be.
These are the shortest.
I
No, it's fine.
Oh,
I'm not.
I can't believe we found out what happened at the Reverie this chapter. Wow.
I was gonna say I think it's appropriate though because this is like a fighting chapter. You could say pretty. You could say your thoughts pretty.
Oh, this is
succinctly.
good. We're going to be talking to Storm about this in a year when it shows up in the anime.
Oh yeah, that's true. Legitimately, Steve, what did
Yeah.
you think? Unless Joe, if you have more.
No, I'm good.
Okay, Steve.
I like this one. It's a pure spectacle chapter, but it was just a lot of fun. I think art-wise, I think there's some really nice-looking Luffys in this chapter. I think he's drawn very well. I really like the game of chicken gag with Law, Luffy, and Kid.
Yeah.
It's amazing how One Piece can just, like, on a dime, just, like, turn in tone. It just reminds me, like, this is still One Piece. This is still a silly story about a boy whose body's like rubber and he can't swim. Like I appreciate these kinds of moments.
Wait, hold on. That's what this comic's about?
No one. Yeah, that's. Steve, what else? Any other thoughts on the chapter?
Oh, I'm sorry. I feel like I broke everyone's mind. It's like, oh god, I've wasted my life. I thought this was going to be about power levels. I think I enjoyed the action for the most part. I think Oda's kind of had some moments in recent chapters where the action was a little hard to follow, but I think this was pretty straightforward. I don't think there was anything too confusing. I'm curious to where Kid got that giant spiky skull though. Did he kill one of the numbers and just skin them real
It
quick?
has to be metal, I think. So like he could have just maybe it was like a mantelpiece. I don't know.
Maybe they have a few dental implants. Other than that, I one small detail I just should note is I think Oda's like straying away from coloring in Zoro's pupils like all black. I don't know if anyone else has noticed this lately.
No.
Because like all close-ups of Zoro tend to have like he has pupils now, which he's gone back and forth and done that tons of times before, but I just noticed it was very consistent this chapter. Just a thought. I'm just trying to find other things to talk about other than action fun.
Looking back on it, you're completely right.
Yeah. Just interesting to note there. But this is a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying this group dynamic between Law, Luffy, and Kid, and eventually there's gonna have to be a name for this trio because we have like the Monster Trio, the Weakling Trio.
Why don't we come up with this right now? Here,
I thought they were like the three captains, is what people called them.
Or the worst generation?
No, only one of them is captain, and that's Eustace Captain Kid. That's his nickname.
That's right.
True.
Yeah.
You like the dynamics of that group. I like the dynamics of Big Mom and Kaido because, like, Kaido starts the chapter down on the ground and, like, Big Mom is yelling at them. And Big Mom, like, yells throughout the entire chapter and only starts fighting at the very end. It's just, she's yelling at them the entire time for, like, having the insolence.
Audacity.
Yeah. And so, Kaido smirks a lot in this. Like, there's, like, 3 different, like, pages or page spreads where we end with like Kaido smirking on
He's
it.
impressed.
Yeah.
Well, I did want to mention like one actual point besides the action was fun. Is that we've talked a lot about like the Kaido suicide thing is a lot that he can't find a real opponent that could act, he's bored. And the fact that he is imagining Luffy standing amongst the strongest in the world, maybe this is like an opportunity for him to finally get that fight he's been waiting for. So I think that's why I think he's legitimately happy about this. He still wants to kick their ass, but I think he's happy about it.
I just dumb thought. He's like Saitama. He just wants someone who can actually fight him.
He is. He's more detailed Saitama.
I mean, based on what we've seen so far, I mean, Big Mom is presumably the stronger of the two.
Yeah.
Now I'm
but
imagining Kaido in that yellow cape. Sorry, go ahead.
It's a white cape.
Or the white cape and the yellow jumpsuit. Joe. what were
Yellow
you gonna say?
jumpsuit.
Yeah. Or Joe. There. No.
Yeah.
Alex, do you want to give your thoughts on the chapter?
Yeah, wow. Great action chapter. Action chapters are great. They're so fun. This is gonna look. This is. I hope this is just a taste of things to come. It's cool to see the three Worst Generation captains, doing their thing. Kid is the one that I was the most looking forward to because we've seen him the least, and did not disappoint. I love his. His punk rotten, whatever the heck that thing is.
Mm-hmm.
Big
Moxie.
Yeah, his big Mr. Skullface. It kind of reminds me of Magellan's big attack. In that it's a giant skull face thing. Except it's solid rather than liquid. And I kind of noticed that he's got this cool that disc on the back. It kind of looks like the Kozuki seal a little bit. It's the most prevalent, I think, in the last page spread. But yeah,
Reminds
Big
me
Mom.
of Douglas Bullet.
Oh yeah. Bullet's basically like a not
CGI
as cool
version.
Yeah, not as cool CGI version of this. Big Mom and Kaido, massive old married couple energy.
Really, I get the big sister vibe from Big Mom.
Yeah,
like they're siblings. Like
Old
she's trying
sibling
to, like she's like watching her little brother fight and yelling at the kids that he's fighting with.
I guess so. Sure.
What's a big sister for?
Why does everyone keep saying that? So yeah, yeah, they're both at the lunch table. Yeah, okay, I get that. I don't know. I guess because they're both really old, but it's also fun to see older brother and sister relationship too. Heavenly Bonbons is a fun attack. I miss Big Mom's candy-based
Sounds
lifestyle.
delicious.
Yeah, I think it's cool that we're getting like a Big Mom rematch here in this arc. As much as we possibly could. And I do think that it's very interesting, right? The how high your ceiling will go. That those silhouettes in the background there. I think it's really awesome that Kaido's having such fun with this fight. I think I said it before, but it's really cool to see Zoro and Killer fighting up there with them. Like they're just as important. They're the right hands. It's just a shame Beppo's not there either.
Beppo's where he wants to be.
I guess
Is
Beppo's
it-
the
is it
navigator,
really?
right? So
Yeah.
He's still on the ship, I think, right? He's
Yeah,
still
they're all on the
submarine.
ship still.
And they couldn't make it
No,
back.
Beppo landed, I think. He was in a panel with Law, like, way back
Hmm.
on the island, I think. The rest of the Heart Pirates are still
No,
in the
Law,
submarine,
I
but
think, was-
Beppo's there.
I thought Law was only seen on the island at the Poneglyph. I don't.
I could have
Before this.
I could have sworn
He
we
was
saw
there
Beppo
for, like,
at
a
some point,
second
but maybe I'm crazy.
when he dropped off the Arcazaya, but I think he was the only one that got off because he had to boop them onto the island in the first place.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's true.
Joe, since you're the resident law head here, who is the appointed first mate on the Heart Pirates?
We don't know one, especially as far as I know. Like we don't even the
Shachi.
only
Penguin.
position we know is the navigator
Ah,
and the doctor. So
oh, cool, great.
Not John
anyway,
Penguin,
yeah.
Penguin and Shachi truly are the Lenny and Carl.
They really are. Yeah.
Also, according to the One Piece wiki, Beppo is later seen inside of Kaido's castle during the all-out attack on the Beast
okay.
Pirates.
Okay.
Oh.
Chapter 986.
I was trying to find it, but
Nobody
my app's
tell
not
him,
showing
you'll be-
the.
I never miss a Beppo.
By the way, does that mean we could see
Oh.
Beppo going Sulong before this is over?
Oh man, I hope so.
Mm.
Why is my app
Um,
not showing the?
That would
Either
make
way.
He
him,
just
yeah.
turns to a big fuzzball.
That's all that I have to say about this chapter. Really great, loved it. Really great character stuff as well as fighting stuff.
Ed.
Yeah, the only thing I really have to add to that previously is that always great to see Zoro being really, really cool. like that panel of him that I mentioned before, where he's drawing to do the Foxfire style. That's just it's A+. Love that.
Preach.
Mm-hmm. And the way that Prometheus is shown getting cut in half is the way the contours of it. It looks very cool, very dynamic. You love that gag with the three captains dodging. Like they all have there's such great attention to detail there. The way the light lights up like Luffy's hair in the front of his face. I like the way that Luffy looks in particular. Love the dynamic with Kaido and Big Mom, what I was talking about before, and everyone gets to sort of interact in little ways with like sort of the people who are on their level. Like the three captains are having this banter, and Big Mom and Kaido, Zoro and Killer, and everyone's this is the beginning of the battle, so everyone's pretty enthusiastic still, but it's about to go down. It's about to get really violent in here. So, this is sort of the calm before the storm. Everyone gets to look really cool before they start like taking damage.
Yeah, so with the as Steve dubbed it, the jackass moment where they're playing chicken. For some reason, when I read this originally, I thought they were all like dodging slightly to the side just because of the way that do you know what I mean? Like they're all
the way they're
I
shaped.
thought that too, and I saw someone say that they got hit, and I was like, oh yeah, you're right, they got hit.
Yeah, and then you see that in the next panel. Yeah, I think either way, this is the closest rival we've had to is that Luffy's face in the newspaper face.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've had a different name for that, but
It's actually a great follow up to Chapter 1000, in that like Kaido is sort of confirming what we felt about Luffy in the last chapter, that he's putting him on the level of all these legends and the king of the pirates. What's the level of the king of the pirates? That's I think that's sort of I think that's the most important thing Oda was trying to show this chapter.
Yeah, and I also, that panel in particular I like because it is very much from Kaido's point of view, which is why Odin and Rox in particular are both there. Figures that I think are, especially important in Kaido's past from what we know of it. So that was an interesting moment, I think. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I mean, I love all the designs. All the fighting is a ton of fun. This was a fun chapter, just period. End of sentence. Just like the last. Yeah. I have nothing to complain about with this chapter. Just like last week, a lot of people were, I think, upset. Not last week, last chapter. People might have been upset because there wasn't some huge revelation, but it's just distilled.
People were very upset.
People are very upset about a lot of things, but chapter 1000 was great because it was a distillation of Luffy in a chapter, and I think it did a great job at that. This chapter, I think, does a really good job at distilling what makes fights in One Piece so cool, in that you have insane powers, ridiculous characters trying to work together, comedy interspersed, people that like not taking the situation seriously enough sometimes, but also real consequences and that like bigger world kind of stuff going around the fight.
Yeah, you're just describing One Piece Stampede.
Well, except without the really bad CGI. And I think
and actual stakes.
And actual stakes.
Like, it's a movie. How high could the stakes be?
Stampede was all. I know, Steve, we've talked about when Stampede came out, where it's like, it's just fun. It's just One Piece. Go and enjoy it. Fun One Piece. There's no depth to it, really. But
can I?
Oh, no.
Can I take your podium for a second?
No.
Just talking
it's
about
my podium.
Chapter 1000.
I bought this podium. You could use that lectern over there.
I brought this one from home.
Just to follow up from the Chapter 1000 thing you guys are talking about here. Just a question. Like, if you were annoyed that Chapter 1000 wasn't big enough, and if you remember every single milestone chapter, and by that I'm referring to 100, 200, 300, when has there ever been a chapter like that dropped a bombshell? Milestone chapters are all about
one. The Rayleigh one.
Momentum.
Only 500, really. The Rayleigh
500.
one.
Yeah.
That's the only
I'd
one,
say
though.
that, yeah. I'd say those milestone chapters are all about momentum.
Yeah.
Because I think of Like 100 is like, all right, we're going to the Grand Line. 200 is Luffy's back fighting Crocodile.
Water
Well,
Luffy.
I would
It's
say
Misa Luffy, actually.
100,
Yeah.
Yeah.
100 is when we first
My
meet
mistake.
Dragon, but we don't know who he is at first, so.
That's true too.
Okay.
Because I think like 400 is, kind of the Straw Hats squaring off against CP9. Like 700 is just Dofi has the flame through. It's like stuff like that.
Let me take my podium back here for a second, Steve. and just add that I think Oda learned his lesson at chapter 100. So a little backstory for that. Oda wanted to leave East Blue by chapter 100. And so thereby, constricted parts of his story a little more than I think they would have been. Like he got rid of the daddy, the father stuff. A lot of this shows up in the anime as filler, but it was envisioned by Oda, but he didn't get a chance to flush it out. And I think the further he gets into the story, the less he cares about those sort of milestones. But he knew this was a big chapter, but I really don't think he was willing enough to really alter the course of the entire arc just so chapter 1000 is this mind-splitting chapter. And I think he compromised and decided that let's just make this like a distilled, awesome One Piece chapter that I don't think you'll forget, but isn't like going to be like the end of something or the beginning of something, I think he gave up on that idea. In the end,
it's kind of just like calling back to chapter 1, just all about Luffy.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a fan in Japan posting pictures of chapter 2 and relating them to chapter 1000, the fight with Alvida particularly. And there were a lot of parallels in like how Luffy behaves in that chapter and in chapter 1000. So I think it was chapter 1000 was supposed to be more of an ode to, and he even came out with that post that Greg read, remember? It's an ode to the fans. It's like an ode to the people who have stuck with this since the beginning or have been reading or have just been reading the entire thing, like the real the devotees. And I think that's what that chapter was supposed to be about, not about like not saying we're not, but like people who are only looking for theories and bombshells and stuff to be solved.
We're going to cut back to the reverie, and the Revolutionary Army are going to land on one.
They're all dead.
That's what was going to happen.
Yeah, generally bombshells are reserved until after the arc is said and done.
That's
yes.
fair,
Yeah. And
Also, why would the Revolutionary Army show up?
I've tried to argue that with my comments. It doesn't work. You can't reason with those people.
You're a trooper.
Oh, those.
I back you up. I agree with a lot of your opinions.
The reasoning is thank you. The reasoning is something along the lines of, but Sabo was investigating weapons on Dressrosa, and Kaido likes weapons, so it's natural.
Look, also,
was working with Doflamingo.
that's
You
true.
don't even know if Sabo's alive.
He's alive.
Hey,
he's alive.
I heard the Navy's going to show up at Wano because there's pirates there.
Look, I'll defend those people.
The Navy might show up at Wano. I'm actually thinking that could happen.
I mean,
towards,
Drake's there.
Post-arc.
Haven't they like explicitly said that they don't have the forces to do it because they're too busy catching the
Yeah, it was in the
warlords
anime
and
like
others?
last week
Yeah.
when Drake
Look,
was talking to Kobe. Yeah.
I'll defend Liam's former fans now. No, I'm kidding. But I know I'll defend them in that the one good thing about One Piece is you don't always know what will happen. And I think Oda lives to throw curveballs. Look, I didn't think that was going to happen in chapter 1000 necessarily, but I will never rule out a theory, no matter how ridiculous. There are a few exceptions to what I'm saying right now, but for the most part, no matter how ridiculous, because some crazy shit has happened in One Piece in the past. But I think Oda also knows to stay off of like message boards and stuff enough
As he should.
that he won't,
As we all should.
that your expectations as a viewer and our expectations as a reader are very likely not going to be fulfilled in the same way as they might in a lot of other shows where the creators do frequent message boards.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's one thing.
Game of Thrones.
It's one thing I
All
thought
right,
about,
you have
like
a cold
the
there?
ending.
That's not good.
Like,
Yeah, summer cold.
like someday One
Some
Piece
of
is going to end, and there's going to be people who just completely hate the ending, and you just got to accept it. That's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh no,
There's definitely going to be, okay, so this wasn't as good as we thought it
Yeah.
was. I'm like, oh, shut up.
It's fine.
It's like,
Look, if
It's like it's okay for you to enjoy something at a time and then be like, all right, well, I'm gonna move on.
yeah,
No, as soon as something you don't enjoy something as much, apparently it's awful. That's what it means.
look, if you don't,
I can't believe we're talking about 1001, and here we are just talking about chapter 1000.
what's related? This is kind of just. I mean, it is literally the follow up from the previous chapter. But I don't know if. Yeah, I don't know if there's much else to say, but like, if you don't enjoy a chapter, that's fine. We're not judging people for not. If they didn't like 1000, they didn't like 1000. That's not really here or there.
Yeah.
They're allowed to not like 1000. It's just I think we did.
That's
Are
right.
they?
That's what we're saying. Any other thoughts on 1001?
I will say I was.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, no.
I was gonna
Joe
say
and then
After you.
Liam. Yeah, go ahead.
I did know that the Heart Pirates showed up later. So in 997, we see them in their ship, but it's only Jean Bart, Ikaku, aka the woman, and Uni, who wears a mask, and an unnamed guy. So it's true, we don't know what Babbo is right now.
Is her nickname the woman?
No, she's just the one woman on their
I
crew.
know.
She's the token.
That's her role in the crew. The
Liam.
archaeologist, the woman, the shipwright.
Oh no!
Nami's womaning.
Until Ramen shows up.
Liam, you were going to say something?
Before we moved on, I just wanted to put in my bid for what we should call the supernova trio of captains. I think they should be the worst menage a trois.
Whoa.
You see, I
I
was
can
just
think
gonna
of
say-
worse. I can think of way worse menage a trois.
I was just gonna say the worst trio, as in they're the worst, aren't they? Okay, so we'll
You
continue.
know, they kind of look like when their heads are trying to check and see if the other person is flinching in that spread. They do kind of look like sausages. So they could be the worst trio, but worst is spelled with a U.
Oh,
I love it.
The worst.
I feel like that's going to be an
I
episode.
like that. That's better than mine. I just thought just combining all their names, so they're the Law Monkey Kids.
That took me a
I like
second.
that one too.
Told you it wasn't that good.
It's okay.
That's their band.
Any final thoughts on this chapter? We'll keep workshopping
good.
it. I think
Good.
Okay, let's move on into Piece Together. This is the Piece Together segment where we take your questions, comments, theories, and then lay them across the room in a nice way. As we all know, Law is a big fan of feng shui. We need to make sure his room looks perfect. But before we do that, Ed, what's our first segment?
This piece.
And Joe, you're taking it since you are our Discord moderator. I can't speak today, clearly. You're going to take us through our Discord questions.
All right. So the first one comes from King Doji, and he says, "Hi OPP, science guy coming in to explain the most important part of last week's anime episode, Garp's tea. The question during the anime recap was, would tea float in water? I'm here to tell you that provided it wasn't in its own bubble, the tea would have just diffused out into the entirety of Fishman Island, but the concentration would be so small, I don't know if anyone would know this. Keep up the good work."
All right.
It's like
Oh,
when
so
you
it's
pee
a-
in the
it was a-
ocean.
So it was a magic cup of tea.
A wizard did it.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
don't know if
cool.
you're making a reference or not, because there's a boba place around here called Magic Cup.
What Luffy would have said it's a mystery tea.
Mystery.
Old running joke we
mystery.
haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
Joe, what's next?
Simchi says, "OPP, hola, ¿cómo estás? Yo soy muy bueno." Sorry, I was so excited about Kairos' grin of acknowledgement that I started speaking a different language. Tell me, in your opinion, what is the most exciting thing a villain has done in a fight? Something that got your blood pumping and excited for the challenge. Could be from One Piece, could be from any shonen manga. Or that one really good mom versus mom fight from the Adventures of Gumball.
First thing that came to mind for me was Eneru restarting his heart.
The first thing that came to mind for me was Crocodile stabbing Luffy through the chest.
That was what came to mind for me too.
Yeah.
What was the question?
What's your
what-
favorite thing a villain's ever done in a fight? Like, from anything?
Oh God.
The first thing that came to mind to me was Senor Pink, but I have no specific instance, just Senor Pink.
My favorite thing
That's
is
pretty exciting.
My favorite thing is the number main green mother from outer space, because there you go. That's me.
Wait, so anything any villain has ever done, or
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
One
it could
Piece?
be
Any
any.
villain.
Yeah.
Probably something from The Wire. Honestly,
It. I think it's a joint venture, but the in the first episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, just that mansion fight between Dio and Jonathan
That's really good.
is really over the top and excellent.
oh, I just thought of one. I was actually talking about this the other day, and how much of an impact it made on me when I rewatched this. In the Disney version the Disney Sleeping Beauty, 1957, that one. Maleficent has Prince Philip like captive, and she's basically telling him, "Oh, don't worry, I'm going to keep you alive for 100 years, and that way, when I let you out to, kiss the princess awake, you're going to be so old and fucked up looking that she won't want to have anything to do with you."
Yeah.
Did you use that language
and-
specifically?
Well, I think that was the original
She did,
story,
yes.
too.
It's a children's movie, so yes,
It's a different time in 1957.
it was. Yeah,
To be fair, yes.
that like it's not like my top, but it's definitely like a whoa. That's really evil.
Yeah, it's dark.
I love that. Yeah. As far as One Piece goes, I guess. Crocodile's pretty cool. He's done
If
some
I could,
pretty
if
cool
I could
stuff.
add like a Disney answer, the entire Gaston musical number.
Oh, that's very good. Bar.
Babor.
What's next?
I just want to add that for my One Piece one, it's not really for a fight, but I'll not be original again and say Doflamingo is shooting the fuck out of Law on top of the castle. I liked that scene.
I thought you said shitting the fuck out.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
Sorry. No, shooting Law.
I missed that
times
chapter.
when
Squatting on Law.
Gross.
I thought you were.
Gross.
At least I heard shooting, but I thought you were referring to like outside the Coliseum when Luffy's like.
Yeah, that's what
like,
I thought you meant.
behind the bars, and Law's just like, "Is this your man?" Bang, bang, bang.
that's a good one. But like when Law taunts him and like Doflamingo just completely loses his composure and just unloads his entire gun on him.
His bowels on him.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
It's really gross.
Dirty minds.
That's literally dirty. But anytime Doflamingo loses his cool, it's like, oh, this is interesting now because he's always so like.
He always actually he's in control now. Now it's like nope.
To be fair, he
Remember when
usually
his
is.
glasses broke in the anime last week? That was good.
That was great. What's the next question, Joe? Please get us away from that discussion.
Just a short comment. Ace instead says, "Man, Jinbei is high as heck."
That's on the cover page. Yeah.
I mean, where else would you rather be?
Atop a jellyfish.
Josh has a challenge that says, "First person to talk after reading this piece loses."
Okay, I can't let us just have no.
Zach's the loser.
I should have made a sausage face. That would have cemented my victory.
Well, if this was a live stream, we all would have been making the face.
Oh no, yeah. If this was a live stream, first of all, I would have let the quiet continue, and second, very uncomfortable with silence, guys. And second, yeah, we all would have done that face. Yeah. What's next?
Last one is from Big Mike, who says, "If the girls got some Lalu and Kobo, aka Killer and Zoro material,"
I did not
this
know that was one.
the people came up with it because like this is stuff, right?
People have like a very odd idea of how a relationship starts.
By
I'm just
the way.
saying. Do all relationships start with you like stabbing each other and then like that was kind of hot? You want to like,
First of all,
That's usually how the relationship ends.
That was kind of hot. Can we get coffee tomorrow? No, I just broke up with you.
no, I just cut your arm off.
But also, doesn't it suck that any relationship killer is in has to be, sounds like kill and then the person? That's gotta suck. Anyway, Joe, you could start
if
that.
the girls got some Lalu and some Kyoto material this chapter and some Zosan material in the Shogeki no Sanji too, when do us boys get some Nam Shigi material?
Some what?
Nami and Shigi.
Tashigi.
Oh.
And they're the emojis
Right.
are there. Yeah. It took me a second.
I thought it was nam chi, like kimchi.
And I feel like we got that once in
Punk
Punk
Hazard.
Hazard.
Punk Hazard,
Yeah.
and I think that the Marines aren't going to be around. I don't think for a little while.
Yeah.
You know what I just thought of? If a Kobe and Alvita ship were, I think the name for a Kobe and Alvita ship would be COVID, right?
With a K.
Excuse me, I'm going to need a couple of minutes after that. That's all for this piece?
That's all for this piece.
All right, so it's
Good
time.
week. Good week this week.
Wait,
This-
Joe, I want to let you do the email segment song this week, if you'd like.
I said, come on for Hoga Gods. I said, come on for Hoga Gods.
No, I did read the whole song. Okay, thank you,
Okay.
Joe.
It was Shark
She's
Door's
gonna do a
birthday last
Homestar
week.
Runner.
That's right.
That's
Dork's
true.
old
What's
enough to
Shark
vote
Door?
now.
He can vote.
Wait, how old is he? 18?
18.
18?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
My junior year of high school. Yeah.
All my hair just suddenly turned
I was
gray.
in junior high.
I was a 90-year-old man when that came out. Andy, Yoho, friend of the show, says, it's been a while, but I wanted to update you on the news that my wife finally got into One Piece. And I know Steve's going to make a comment to me. No, I did read all of Harry Potter. Erica has not yet read One Piece, and I'm very upset. Anyway, he says, we're currently in the middle of Little Garden. Thus far, her favorite character and arc are Usopp and Syrup Village, with Zoro being a close second as far as characters are concerned. We take breaks periodically, but I appreciate getting the chance to share the experience with a loved one. So on a related note, did you get a loved one interested in the series or plan on doing so? I think the key was to be subtle and not oversaturating conversations with everything One Piece. Oh, you see, it's me yelling in my office every day about One Piece. It's Polly doing the... Okay. Thanks for the continuously awesome content and take care. So yeah, any comment on that?
No.
No, I've never gotten a loved one into One Piece, although I did buy my niece and nephew their first comic book for Christmas this year, so maybe eventually.
I got really drunk last year at New Year's. I think I've told the story before, and I was talking to Bethany about Robin, and she had a whole lot of sexy questions.
I remember you mentioning those.
Yeah. And she knows who Chopper is, but his name is Chickles or
Aw.
Chum Bucket or Chucha or something. It's very funny. She can't really
As
remember his
long
name,
as
but
there's no
Chickles
sexy
is my favorite.
questions about
I'm
Chickles.
I'm
Tiny,
the
tiny
only
Chickles.
family member that's into One Piece. Most of the people I've dated, I think, were aware of the series or were fans at one point. But no, that's no. I let it come naturally, you know. It's like because I've had some friends who are eventually like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of checking out One Piece now," and I'm like, "All right." Like I don't force it on anybody.
Here's
Oh,
the
I've definitely forced One Piece on a lot of friends, and it's worked sometimes.
here's 97 volumes, all the data books.
I
They're
just
not
don't want
in
those people
English.
complaining that chapter 1000. I just don't want those people complaining that chapter 1000 was not that great. I can't deal with that heartbreak.
Yeah. So I've been with my wife for 7.5 years now, and it's at the point where I'm actually kind of afraid to try and introduce One Piece to her because, you know, what if she doesn't like it and that just ends the relationship?
You know what? I'm in that point too, because I mean, we're 9 years in our relationship, and it's like she still hasn't seen One Piece. If she hates it, what's she gonna think of me and what I'm doing here? every day?
Why don't you start keep this
I will
around?
say that I did take her to see One Piece Film Gold and One Piece Stampede, and she does have a favorite character. It is Usopp.
Nice.
There you go.
Wow.
For me, my brother was one of the first people to really try to get me into One Piece. I tried for several years, and I only got into it finally in 2015. I've gotten my boyfriend officially into it because he read it when it was in Shonen Jump physically, but it was hard to keep up with because of how Shonen Jump was published back then. So when we got together and I was reading One Piece, he's like, "Oh, well, this is convenient. I can just borrow all your volumes and read the whole thing," and he did.
What if someone just? What if your loved one you had never heard of the show, and they were just doing a podcast for 12 years on it, and you find out it was young Sheldon, and you're like, what are you doing down here?
Is the kid playing young Sheldon grown up yet? Like that show is like 6 seasons or something.
Zach, I think the cat would be out of the bag real quick because like Erica would catch you saying like Bazinga or
Oh yeah,
that's
One Piece
so
character.
That's so Bazinga, my dear.
I was going to say that's Big Bang Theory, and then I realized, oh yeah, that's the same shit. And now, look, I don't mean to offend anyone who watches Young Sheldon. Okay, I mean to offend them a little,
people.
But it's just really hard to. I'm like, it's really hard to think of a universally made fun of and despised show.
Big Bang Theory.
Well, it's the same. It's the same thing. It's the same character. That's who Sheldon is.
But he's young now.
So is that better or worse?
I don't know. Ask people. I don't know. Ask the Mandalorian.
Their family's
about
a
baby characters.
Their family's a quirky Southern Christian family. Isn't that funny?
I'm too
okay.
busy watching One Piece again for like the 12th time.
No, stop watching One Piece and try this amazing show on CBS. Next question is from Ben. Hey, podcast, what do you think happened to Urashima? Is he lying in the gutter somewhere in a gambling den with Batman and Gazelle Man, or will he be on the next cover story?
He's about to get smushed by Onigashima.
He might get a cover story.
Wouldn't that be great if that's what happens? The entire Onigashima just lands directly on the sumo.
I mean, so many innocent people would die, but that would be good.
Hiroshima gets a cover story. Oh God, I'd rather see Absalom's ghost get a cover story.
I am positive.
Oh, that would be fascinating, actually. Yeah.
I am positive a good portion of our fan base, who is a very educated and up to date fan base, I'm sure a lot of them don't remember who the hell Urashima was, because it was 2 years ago since we last saw him.
Well, I'm just saying
Sumo.
He was so like important to Okiku's like debut anyway.
That's true, he was, yeah. And by
I wonder that
maybe I'm projecting, but yeah.
If Urashima gets flattened by Onigashima, and his cover story is looking for a way to get unflattened.
Urashima, my life as a pancake.
Yeah, then I would love that. Like, or Urashima, my quest to become balloonized or something like that.
No, see, like he gets squished by Onigashima, and he gets launched to the earth, and he ends up in Godatsu's tunnel to the hot springs or whatever.
Yes, that was such a good cover story.
No, he gets launched into orbit and he goes to the moon.
There you go.
I'd much rather see Absalom's ghost. I'd rather see that.
Or picture this. Urashima is on Onigashima right now, and he's going to be like the Yajirobe of this arc. He's going to come in at the last minute, like cut Kaido's tail off, and everything's going to be great.
How could you cut off my wife?
I don't even have a tail. How did you cut that
Kaido's
off?
like, I didn't even know that was my weakness. I learn something new every day.
Go back.
By the way, the grand finale of Urashima, My Life is a Pancake, he gets frisbee thrown to the moon. That's how that works. Next question. Ben D. Straw. Out of these Straw Hats, which do you think would prefer The Simpsons, and which do you think would prefer Futurama? I'll add one more since it's back. Disenchanted, if any of them prefer that from the other two. Since we're doing all Mac Groening series, are there any others that I'm missing?
Does anybody prefer Disenchanted?
No, I don't think so.
Who would enjoy Life in Hell the most? It's a comic. It's a comic.
Brooke.
Robin would prefer Futurama.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a smart.
Luffy would be a Simpsons fan, surely.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah,
I
but
think
probably
Usopp would
later
too.
season Simpsons. Usopp would enjoy the original one.
I think Usopp would like.
I think Robin would like The Critic.
Oh, well, not Matt Groening, but yes, you're probably
Yeah,
right.
Mike Reese. And Robin knows who Mike Reese is. That's basically Robin's Robin's level of nerddom exceeds that of the average Simpsons viewer. I think.
Would Robin prefer the season 1 designs or the Fox pickup season 2 redesigns? That's what I want to know. My God, this is so inside baseball.
What would Chopper like?
Chopper.
He's just happy that something's on TV.
That's yeah.
He might like Futurama. He might like Nibbler. He might like Nibbler or something.
He is Nibbler.
He is Nibbler, yeah.
I
They have
think
a
like
In the
Jinbei
4
would be
Kids
the
dub,
kinda
his
guy-
voice sounds like that. Go ahead.
Jinbei would be the kind of guy where like it doesn't like he doesn't really care. He just enjoys his time
With the
watching TV with his
family.
family. He's like, ha, this show is so funny. You know. All right, I'm going to bed.
All right, next question. Max says, I have been watching all the Zatoichi movies for Japanuary and have noticed so many parallels to One Piece. The obvious comparison starts with Isho, Fujitora, but it really feels like Luffy, Zoro, Usopp, and Nami all have distinct personality traits taken from Ichi-san. Also, no Doi. Wano has tons of inspiration from these films. So I was wondering if any of you have seen these movies, and if not, Alex, I think they would be a great topic for Toho Yaro. You've done a lot of them, right?
We have done, how many Zatoichi movies have we done? We've done, let's see, we did the Beat Takeshi remake, and we've done the first one, and then I think we've done the 4th or 5th one. We've done a couple Zatoichi films. They're great. They're all great. As far as like, you know, various traits of Ichi's personality transplanted in some of the Straw Hats, you know, I mean, the Straw Hat characters do have archetypal personalities at times. So, I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say that they've been lifted from Zatoichi, but it's very clear that Oda is a fan of these movies.
Max did have one more sentence here, so you could still comment after. Yeah. Zatoichi's cane sword has the most similarities so far. He is very Luffy-esque in it. Zatoichi pops out of a freaking barrel in a fight scene. What more could you ask for? Really, you guys are great. I have been listening since 2010, and you're awesome.
It's funny. I think Joey was supposed to originally come on this episode initially.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Oh no, it's okay. I'll just come up the next one
in a couple weeks,
in 2 weeks." And I'm like, "Oh, this would have been a really good question actually for him because
Joey will be on again.
Joey has seen all of them.
Yes, yeah.
I do have the Criterion box set. Humble brag. But and I've had it for like 2 years, and I haven't yet even begun to really make a dent in it. So.
There's like almost 30 of them, right?
Yeah, 20. I think it has 25 of the 26 movies.
Is that the longest running like series of movies featuring the same character?
It's not. That would be Tora-san.
That's what I was thinking.
Otsuko Tsuruyo, character, and Tora-san is the character that Chaton is based on.
Right.
Or he's modeled after Kiyoshi Atsumi's character, Tora-san. Which, if you want to talk Tora-san, talk to Joey. Because Joey has also seen all of those, and they are not available in the United States.
Listen to Toho Yaro. You'll get even better than talking to Joey. He'll talk about it to you. But you could do both. That's it for emails. I think, Alex, you're doing Reddit, right?
I don't want to talk. I don't want to be talked to. I want to be talked at.
Exactly.
Oh. Yeah. Well, how about getting talked at the subreddit Archipelago? Foodgasm will talk at us by saying, "Hey guys, just wanted to say amazing job with the Chapter 1000 YouTube video, the production especially."
That's all Stacy. Thank you to Stacy.
QuipQuest.
No, we cannot.
These pirates are children. I agree.
Oh, sure.
Even the old ones, they're children.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Le Man Bear Pig says, "Anyone get Hisoka vibes from Kaido?" That is a Hunter x Hunter character, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He gets turned on by, like, very physically turned on by combat and strong opponents. And Kaido does give off a fair few of those, some sexy smiles.
So Hisoka's a little bit creepier because he does that around children. But then
What
again,
show?
I guess,
Well, if it's a strong child, you just have to be strong.
But these pirates are children, apparently. So
yeah, probably not quite Gon age. Gon's like 12 or 11.
Yeah, it's he's horny on main when there's children active. That's what I'm trying to say.
Is he the guy that has the teardrop tattoo or the?
Yeah, he looks like a clown.
Yeah.
Again, my anti-clown sentiment holds.
More accurately, he's a magician. But yeah.
My anti-magician sentiment holds.
Zach has a normal fear of magicians.
If I see a
Oh,
magician,
boy.
I'm running in the other direction. That's all I gotta
It's
say.
like, oh god, they're so nerdy. I have to run the other way.
No, you know how like a lot of animals are really like get really freaked out by magic. That's like what I'm like. Just I'm
By
like,
the way,
get the fuck away.
I don't know if anybody's noticed this just in popular culture in media or whatever, but if you're into magic, you're somehow on the lowest. It's like the lowest grade of the nerd hierarchy. Like you're like, oh, you're
Is there
just
an official nerd hierarchy?
just-
And where do we
It's
place?
like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
basically
it's like one step below cardistry.
yes, it's date repellent. Like, oh, let me show you a magic trick. Oh, nope, sorry, gotta go. I'm gonna,
So I assume mimes rate somewhere below that.
Here.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have a thing against mimes too, Zach? We're learning a lot about you.
Yes, mimes are basically clowns that don't talk for some odd reason.
They're not. I mean, I guess they do clown around. Anyway. Oh, we have a couple more to get through. Brutus Nest says, I recently realized that it's been nearly 10 years since the last Logia fruits, the Gas and Snow fruits, were introduced in 2012. Do you think Oda switched to prioritizing Paramecia fruits, because it's less constraining, or do you think we'll see more Logias in the future?
We're kind of running out of elements. I mean, unless
I
you
think
want
that's the problem.
to get really nitpicky.
Well, to be fair, snow is not super elemental.
We haven't seen a
We-
water
we
fruit
had
yet,
that-
but that doesn't make any sense.
And we had that dispute with Katakuri during Whole Cake because the mochi power is a Paramecia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a special, like it was in
Yeah,
its own
it's
Special
category.
Paramecia now. But it was a Logia originally when it
Yeah.
came out. Jinbei said, he's a Logia user.
And then they went back and corrected. They're like, no, Jinbei did say that.
yeah.
You remember that incorrectly.
Now he's a special boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beppo
Mochi's
was
not
there
an
the
element.
whole time.
Like the editor arguing with Oda about emoji being an element. Like he's like, no, but it is an element. It's really good.
No, it's Mochi's not an element, and Oda's like, look, man, I'm exhausted. It's
It's
I'm
3 in the
messed
morning.
up.
Can we talk about this tomorrow?
Sabo
what's next?
became a Logia.
That's true.
But,
guess that
anyways.
counts.
Maybe we could just pass other fruits around.
What's next?
Falcon Gales. IDK, maybe I'm in the minority here, but I didn't like Zoro using Foxfire style. I mean, I get it. He is a really talented swordsman. But based off the context of the line, he just kind of saw it and knew how to do it versus asking Kinemon to teach him. I feel like it's out of character for Zoro to steal a technique versus figuring out naturally like cutting steel. Thoughts?
I mean, did he not steal the cutting steel technique from his swordmaster?
Yeah, I don't know. If
Well, it was inspired by, but like when faced with a giant fire,
Homage.
when faced with a giant fireball, like that's why you learn fire fox style. Like it's a giant fireball in front of me, I gotta cut it.
Zoro's like, Luffy's like, wow, when do you learn that? And Zoro's like, just now.
I think it was more of like that's a cool line read there, Zoro. Let's stick with that. Yeah, I don't
pretty
think it's
much.
necessarily out of character. Zoro is kind of a jackass sometimes.
He's also a pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I will never complain about characters stealing from any other character just because
Also-
this is a pirate manga.
Do you think when Kinemon wakes up, he'll be like, "Did you steal my technique?" And actually, now that I'm saying it, he absolutely will say that.
Like, did Genzo in the Arlong Park arc say like, oh, hey,
Oh,
that
yeah,
kid
yeah.
stole my pinwheel gimmick?
That's my pinwheel.
That's my gimmick. You stole my thing.
You stole my
You
bit.
stole my bit. That was it. I couldn't remember the. Anyway,
Yeah, luckily, Alfalfa was an orphan owned by the studio. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking at this one. This one actually
did you
has
not watch
replies.
The Simpsons? Go ahead.
This has replies to it. But I'll read it anyway. In the panel where Kaido compares Luffy to other great pirates, we are shown 4 pirates that we know Kaido either saw fight or personally fought, and then we are shown Shanks. Is this confirmation that Shanks and Kaido have fought before
Yeah.
Marineford? Or do you think there's another time and place the two might have crossed paths? And why isn't Big Mom included in the list?
Well, I was just gonna mention Marineford, but that's like the one time I know for a fact.
Yeah.
Even if they
Yeah,
didn't,
it's not really confirmed though.
they might not have like quote unquote fought. They might have just come head to head. You know, like
Well,
literally. But-
Kaido was heading to Marineford, and Shanks held him off. Like Shanks is the reason Kaido didn't go to Marineford.
Yeah, Shanks or the red hair pirates intercepted them, and we We're not quite sure what actually happened there, but I think it's pretty confirmed that they would have at least fought in the past at some point.
Yeah, I
Makes
don't
sense
think
to
it is an unreasonable assumption to think that all of the four
Especially when he
emperors
says there are only a scant few people capable of fighting me. And there's
Right,
shanks
yeah.
there.
It's a little on cue there. Oh.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be in the past either. I think like that it could have just been that time.
The
and-
future?
Oh well, I mean,
Wow, he has really
hear me saying
good observation.
He got
hobby.
hit so hard in the head, he's having visions.
Alex, yeah.
okay. So this is one last piece together for the subreddit archipelago. This is from I_smoke_thanks to_OPP.
Wait. Look, so this is probably referring to last week when we very explicitly said cigarettes are awesome, but don't smoke cigarettes because they will murder you.
No, I didn't say cigarettes were awesome. I said smoking looks so cool.
Smoking
Yes,
does
being
look really
said,
cool.
Yes, yeah, it does.
Don't smoke.
But yeah, it looks
Unless
cool.
you want to look cool.
Yeah, that's right.
No, again, it looks cool, but it makes you awful in every other way, and also
It makes
might
you
kill
stink. It makes you smell.
It does make you
Makes
smell.
stink
It
like
does.
cigarettes.
Yeah.
That's why Sanji takes a shower every day.
So, vaguely related, we were watching Royal Tenenbaums last night, and Margot Tenenbaum keeps the fact that she smokes a secret for like 22 years or whatever. And I'm like, what? There's absolutely no way
No.
that people wouldn't know that she smoked. Like, that if you smoke cigarettes, you have a distinct odor about you.
Unless
Nothing
everyone
true,
else in your
yellow.
family smokes, that's the only way, and because they can't smell then.
Ah, yeah, that's true. Well,
Yeah.
Royal smoked. So, anyway, sorry to get off on a Wes Anderson tangent. Let's do this. Let's do this piece together. I Smoke Thanks to OPP says, "What crazy theory have you liked throughout the story? The one that I like and convinced me in the moment that it was that convinced me in the moment was that Kizaru is actually Vegapunk, and he is super smart because of his light fruit. His neurons and thoughts travel at the speed of light, so he's smarter than the others because of that. Also, Oda drew Kizaru as a kid reading a lot of books, and finally Sentomaru's his bodyguard, and in Shibandi was looking specifically for him. But that's just a theory, a crazy theory."
Yeah, his head's not aubergine enough, I think, to be Vegapunk.
Oh man.
Well, I think you yourself, Liam, said let's not trust silhouettes. You know.
Just because Kaido's silhouette turned out to be not that accurate.
and the seven
He was a-
warlords we know are all identical Frenchmen.
and the admiral.
And the admirals,
And the
yeah. Like
admirals.
Vegapunk has a very distinct shape, though. It's not like a generic, French swordsman. There's a big head there.
Yeah, I would wager that Oda has had Vegapunk's design on lock for quite a long time at this point.
But I do like this. The question was like, what crazy ass theory that makes no sense but might make sense do you subscribe to, basically,
It's
if there
true.
are any?
I'm not gonna say 'cause I refuse to expose my crazy crackpot theory to anyone.
Joe, it's not like a birthday wish. If you say it, it doesn't necessarily not come true. You know?
Trying to kill each other leads to romance. I don't know. I don't subscribe to many crazy theories.
I mean,
'cause that's how
Ed's-
you get burned.
Ed, you used
Yeah.
to like way back. It was that.
Oh yeah, I used to
Robin
think
was-
that Roger was Robin's dad, not Ace's. But that one went out.
that tells you how long. That
that was
tells you how
very
long
long.
ago it was.
so
yeah.
long ago.
I gotta, we're 1,000 chapters into One Piece. I'm 35 years old. I just want to read and enjoy it. I don't need to think of any theories and then figure out if I'm right
I'm
or
too
not.
old for this shit, is what he said.
Of course, I say that, and then every once in a while, I'll be like, "Ooh, what if this?" So I don't know. I'm a walking hypocrite.
It just seems so like, I don't know, people take it so personally. Like, what, you think that? That's so stupid. Or like they get devoted to it and then it doesn't come true and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
What's with this? Man,
I mean, that's why you stay off the internet. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
keep your theory to your.
I don't need to.
Or
I don't need to hear people
big
tell me
mistake.
Oda's a bad writer because he didn't fulfill their.
yeah.
Yeah.
The-
A head
The only
cannon.
thing I
Yeah,
can
that's
think
right.
of is when I was reading the manga the first time, I realized that when Frankie first gets hit by the train, he winds up on an abandoned ship, which has a lot of like mechanical bits on it. And I'm like, well, that's odd because you don't usually see like a laboratory on a ship. So I thought, well, what if it's like an abandoned Vegapunk ship or something? Because I mean, he did go to Vegapunk's hometown during the time skip, so it's just like Vegapunk's been with him the whole time, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of it.
Don't pull an Eisen thing with Vegapunk. It's like
Yeah.
I orchestrated this all.
Oh no,
cunning
not
plan.
like that. I meant like with him as in like his
Kai.
like cyborgness, like his technology. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One Piece has been
I
a
see what you're
Bleach
saying.
spinoff the entire time. Is that it for Reddit?
Yep.
Ed, it's time to
Peace the tweet.
Ow.
was
broke
a
my
loud one.
headphones. Ed.
God, that was loud. Yeah.
I need new headphones now.
I need to lean away from
but
the
what's the
microphone
first?
next time.
What's the first? What's the first Twitter question?
Okay, first one. There's only a couple today. First one comes from Pongzilla, who says, "Can we as a community try to make an effort to get a character to trend in the character poll? How about Thursday the 21st? We all vote for Big News Morgans." Well, I've voted for him a couple of times already, so yeah, I would totally like. If you all want to
Sure,
vote for
yeah.
Morgans on Thursday, I'd totally be down for that.
I would join there. I think he's asking us to do something maybe like what Roger was doing. He's like doing the Big News Morgans campaign. I don't know if there's a specific character we would.
Well, if like Roger has like
Strawberry?
Morgan, should we ha-
Strawberry. I forgot about Strawberry. Guys, I'm voting Strawberry right now. It's happening.
Should we have like our own on brand like lesser character? To,
Straw.
I mean, it would be Strawberry, wouldn't it?
I guess so.
Or Raspberry.
I'm afraid I'm in.
Fukurokuju.
No, we're not voting.
What were you
for
saying, Liam?
Fukurokuju.
I was gonna say, I'm afraid I'm in a committed relationship with voting for Whoop Slap day after day.
Whoops Up actually
Can't
was
get on
one of
board with
our like super obscure BFFs, so I'm fine with that too.
I'm also in a committed voting relationship.
Committed. For-
Oh, Law is gonna place just fine.
Well, I just tweeted. You'll now know a timestamp exactly
Oh,
from this
yeah.
when this happened. I just tweeted vote Strawberry. So vote Strawberry.
From whose account?
The main account.
No, hey, we all have to come to an agreement before you do that.
Yeah, you just went and did that on your own.
You went
Yeah,
business for
you know
yourself,
what?
Zach.
Sometimes you just gotta. What is it? Ask for forgiveness. Don't ask for permission.
Well, I don't forgive you.
Well,
And I don't permiss you.
Damn it! It already happened. What's next, Ed?
Like 2 seconds ago.
All right, this is the
Shut
last
up.
one. There's only two this week. The first one is from Arthur Teixeira, who says, this is the last one, I mean, comes from Arthur, who says, "What about the anime cutting out the hamburger face Marine? What are your thoughts on the anime's arbitrary choices about the characters that appears? What if the next time Hamburger Marine appears is him defeating Teach, and every anime-only fan start asking, who is this guy?"
Oh my
Wait,
God,
who
was
the
there a
hell is he
hamburger
talking
face
about?
Marine that we
I don't
forgot
know
about?
who
If you look
talking
at the
about?
if you look at the piece the tweet, or I'll hold on, let me see. I can find the link for it.
Oh yes, put it in the chat
Yeah.
that the listeners cannot access.
Wait, we
It's
could
in,
find
the,
his
it's in the
name.
piece. It's in the piece. The tweet hashtag. So
We could find his name and then vote for him. Oh my God!
Oh
It is
my
a
God.
hamburger man.
Oh, wow.
I
Merry
forgot about
Christmas.
that guy. We totally talked about him too. I remember
This is
that.
like this is immediately after someone told him that nothing can kill the grimace.
Wait. That guy was in that chapter, and we called it Yellow Dog instead of Hamburger Man. That
I'm
okay?
sure
wait.
that's probably a
This
tentative
is.
title.
Oh God!
Well, I am
that's-
outraged. I am
that's-
outraged he didn't make it in the anime. That
Wait.
being said, it just it immediately made me think of Jaya, because in the manga in that Warlords meeting, Suru and Kuma both talk, but in the anime they're just silent. They don't say anything.
I was gonna see if I could find the alternate titles for that episode, but that might take me a while. That was the last piece of the tweet, Ed.
that's it.
Ed? Okay. Got scared for a second. I thought there were more pieces to tweet. All right, that's gonna do it. I'm gonna find out more about the hamburger helper after this, but let's round off and do some trivia. This has been the One Piece Podcast, episode 655 for the week of January 17th, 2021. I'm going to start this round off by going through episode titles for episode 588 that we had back in the day. So this was the one with the hamburger helper guy. Crazy No Way School, Billsness in the Front. I don't know what the hell that was referring to. Teaming Up at an Alarming Speed, The Pet Rocks Pirates, Captain Little Tiny Grasshopper Man, Reading Rocks, Scarp, Can't Stop the Rocks, Old Lettuce Lips. That was it. There we go. And Captain Burger Time, we also had.
I'm sorry. I know we've been heavy on the Simpsons references today, but I just love that they're teaming up on an alarming speed.
Yeah.
We also
I missed that
have
one.
we have a few more. But what if Rockstar? That was the title I had. I don't know. And my favorite here.
He was
Oops.
never popular.
I have Oops, all power levels. See, we did do serial ones back then too. Damien in Distress and Garfield and Friends. I don't remember those. Okay. So that's going to do it for the One Piece podcast. Next week, there's no manga chapter, but we will be going through One Piece Magazine Volume 10 with our own Stephen Paul, who is also the translator of One Piece and Shonen Jump. And we'll be back the following week for chapter 1002. We have trivia in a moment, but first, where could everyone contact you guys? Liam, where could people find you?
You can find me at youtube.com/groundline review for your One Piece needs, or youtube.com/New World Review for your everything else needs. Mostly Hunter x Hunter, though.
Joe, where could people find you?
Find me on Twitter at JoeOnBoba, and I also spend a lot of time on the One Piece Podcast Discord.
Please join us there if you haven't. The link is on the website. Steve.
You could follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Steve Yurko is my username.
Alex.
Follow me on Twitter at Dude! That's all one word. You can listen to me on Toho Yaro, the Japanese Film Club podcast that was mentioned earlier in the episode, with my co-hosts Jay Weiser and V. We recently put out a Seijun Suzuki film called Youth of the Beast. Check that out wherever you can, wherever podcasts are sold, basically. And watch the movie too. I believe it's available on the Criterion channel and maybe on YouTube. You can rent it there, I think. Weeb Simpsons is my shitpost account, so please subscribe to Weeb Simpsons on Twitter if you have not already. It's a lot of fun, and I do it whenever I feel like it. And lastly, twitch.tv/superartfight. Our season 2 is coming up at the end of the month. It's going to go all throughout February and the beginning of March. And I am utilizing my new Super Art Fight character, your Uncle Al. So please come and check that out every Saturday in the next the whole month of February. And that does it for me.
Ed, where could the good people... I did everyone else, right? I didn't miss anyone. Okay, making sure. Ed, where could the good people contact us?
We got Absalom's ghost in here.
Oh, okay.
Do your plug.
Get out of here, Absalom!
I'm a sex creep.
You're creeping me out. Why are you in here? You're dead and you're invisible at the same time.
I'm trying to open the door. It says exit back here.
Oh my
I don't
God,
know what's
Ed.
going on.
Ed, just talk over him.
All right, well, you can find us at OnePiecePodcast.com. Or actually, Zach, you're at Zach_Logan on Twitter. I am Edward E. One Piece. You can also find me at Weeb Trailers. Podcast is at OnePiecePodcast.com. Twitter.com, YouTube.com, and Facebook.com/OnePiecePodcast. Patreon.com/OnePiecePodcast to support us. Listen to our Wednesday night game streams and also Forced to Watch 4Kids. And you can send us an email. OnePiecePodcast@gmail.com is our email address. And you can subscribe on SoundCloud, subscribe on iHeartRadio, subscribe on Spotify, subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts, or call us on our phone number, Zach.
And that phone number is 347-497-MAGI. That phone number again, 347-497-6254. Call anytime.
That's all, folks.
With your questions, comments, theories, or why the Law Monkey kids are such rascals. So we're going to do trivia. I'm going to do a pretty simple one. I am going to pick a number from 1 to 1,000 using a random number generator. And then I'm going to ask you 5 questions about that chapter. And I'm going to go in the same order we did the chapter. So it's going to be Ed, then Liam, then Alex, then Joe, and then Steve. I won't forget you this time. Hopefully. Ed,
Don't you
All right.
forget about Steve.
your number, according to the Google random generator, a thing I didn't know existed until recently, is 453.
Okay.
453. So first, what arc is chapter 453 in?
Oh, I think that's the end of like post Annie's lobby.
No. It
No?
is it is Thriller Bark,
It's already Thriller Bark.
right in the middle of
Yeah.
it. Which character shoots Sanji Penguinish zombie guy in this chapter?
Hold on. What was the first part of that?
So, which character shoots Sanji Penguin zombie
Oh,
Man.
Inupe. Okay.
Dog
in this
pen.
chapter?
Yeah, Dogpen. Shoots him. Perona?
No, the answer is Absalom.
Ah.
Thanks. He has
See.
the invisible guns.
The sound his gun makes.
Robin uses this technique to fly as the bridge is broken under the spider guy. His name I forget.
Milfleur Delphinium?
No.
No?
Or if it is, it's not that in the Viz.
Okay. What do they call it?
Cien Fleur Wing.
Oh. Maybe that's a later version.
I think
You know what it
that's
probably
like the
is.
attack she uses on like Yama.
Oh.
Delphinium, right?
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you know what? I think you're right.
And Big Mom.
This is the cover story. Just like which cover story is in this chapter? 453.
Oh. That's CP9, right?
No,
No?
Eneru. Yeah.
Still Inaru.
It's
Yeah.
this one is To the Moon. It's the little guys going on with the balloons, and that's how they get to the
Yeah.
moon. Yes.
So it was Baroque Works during Any Slobby, and then it switched to
Yeah.
Ono.
Mm.
By the way, to get to the moon, you just need balloons. We probably should have tried that.
That's what the movie Up was about.
Oh shit, it was. Nami uses this attack against Absalom in this chapter.
Thunderbolt tempo?
I'll give it to you. It's Thunder Charge.
Okay.
All right, so Ed got 1 point. So let's give Liam a random number and see where we land. The number is 227.
Ooh.
So get your ducks in a row in your head. What arc does this take place in?
Oh, I want to say Alabaster.
No, Jaya.
Oh. Ah.
What cover story is this?
Would it be Ace's cover story?
No, it's Kami's cover story or Hachi's cover
Kimi.
story.
Oh, Hachan's cover story.
Hachan's, yeah.
I thought that
More
happened
accurate.
earlier. Ugh, I suck.
You're done. No, it's only 2 more questions. Let's see. Third question. I'm trying to think of this story is read during this chapter.
Is it the I don't know the name of it, like the Lion Nolan story?
Yes, that's correct. The next question is sorry, 1 second. This chapter ends with a reunion of the 3 bosses of this alliance.
The Sarayama Alliance?
Yes.
I don't know if that's what it is in English. but-
In English, it's the Monkey
yeah.
Mountain Allied Force, but that's correct. You're fine.
That's only, I believe it's
Uh-huh.
called Sarayama Alliance in the anime, though, in the Funimation.
I never noticed this, but until just the second. But Mont Blanc Cricket has a giant tattoo on his bicep, on his left bicep. What does it say?
I have no idea. Shit.
It is I'll give you a clue. It's a I'm guessing those are what, chestnuts or acorns. And in the middle, this isn't going to help you too much, but it says the word in the
middle. Treasure.
Here's another hint. He got a tattoo of his favorite podcast.
One Piece podcast.
WTF?
It's spelt wrong though.
That's Marin. Mark
I have
Marin.
no idea.
It actually is. It's maroon.
It's Marin.
Oh, it's maroon.
It's Marin because shouldn't it be? It's another word for chestnut, right?
It is. It is. But it's spelt maroon. It's Maroon.
What a maroon.
But I would have taken.
Oh, Maroon.
Like Krillin's girlfriend.
Holy crap! I have never noticed that before.
I never noticed that until just
Everyone
the second.
always says Krillin's girlfriend first.
Krillin's his
daughter. A canon daughter named Maron.
We didn't do a podcast about her, Steve.
He is right. He is right about that. The girl.
Besides, that's the Boo arc, and who really cares?
Sorry. My friend Edwin Huang, and I'll plug him on the show. He's an amazing, talented artist. He did a DVZ print, and he did all the characters on it. He forgot to draw in Kid Trunks, and he says his excuse is he put Future Trunks on there. That counts, but he has like the other World Tournament characters and girlfriend Marin on there, and I'm like, you don't even put Kid Trunks on there, and you put Marin on there. I always grill him about it, but he's
I think the Gerlich Jr. saga was run a lot on American television during our formative years, and that's why that sticks in our head more than the Boo stuff and Marin the kid, who was not very prominent. Okay, next up is Alex. Your random number is 970.
Wow, that's pretty recent.
Recent. Let's see.
What arc is this in?
So I got to make this a little harder. What part of the Wano arc is this in? Like what major section or act I'll take, or even, generally, where in the Wano arc are we?
Okay, 970. You said
970.
Well, this is Act 3.
That's correct.
And this is during the Oden flashback.
It is. That's more of what I was looking for. So
Okay.
Good job. Okay. This is the most recent one I've done a quiz on, so I got to be a little bit careful here. I can't ask about cover story either. Okay, I'll say this. Two characters are getting smooched all over the place. Just smooched. Which two characters on the cover page are getting smooched? They're not happy about it.
Oh, you're not. You said you're not happy about it?
They're not. I'm also not, but they're definitely not.
They're not happy about it. Okay. Let's see. This must be one of the ones where the germ the germ people come to kiss everybody, the cootie pirates or whatever. Is it Gotti and
Yes.
Gotti and
no, I'm sorry.
Big hands.
No.
Big hand.
It's you. I had the wrong one. It is Big Hands, but not the other one.
Big Hands Horgans.
Big
Vito.
Hands Horgans.
Vito, you're thinking of, right?
Vito, yeah.
It's Vito and Capone.
Vito and
is your
Capone,
answer.
not Gotti. Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like I Gotti that one wrong.
This chapter was awful hyped at the time because it was titled "This Major Battle."
Jesus Christ. This major
One versus one.
Oh. Roger versus Whitebeard?
No, it's the other one.
The other one.
Odin
Whitebeard
versus Kaido.
Roger.
Odin versus Kaido.
No, the other one. Oh, a pair.
That's your third question.
My 30 Rock joke. Oh, all right.
It's weird because Momonosuke suddenly appeared in the middle of the battle. Who was it really?
Aunt Clay.
It's old lady Higurashi.
Yeah.
It's Higurashi.
It's
Oh, can I not say
remember her
Aunt
name.
Clay and you'll accept it? Is that?
You know what? I'll give it to you. I'll give you.
Yeah.
So that's the fourth.
Oh,
question.
I've said Aunt Clay before. Where's my points?
Yeah, Liam, we have a running bit on this podcast with that character, and because she's an old lady, and she's got Bon Clay's fruit, so she is Spider-Man's very own Aunt Clay.
Aunt Clay. So right after this scene, literally the next coming panels here, like the third panel after this. So Odin gets hit from behind from Kaido. And then who gets shunked in the back? And I read the sound effect there. Shunked in the back immediately after Odin.
After Odin gets shunked? Does Odin get shunked?
Odin gets gonked.
Oh, man.
Gonked. He gets gonked. It's what happens. I'm just
So he gets hit with a power droid.
Yes.
What happens?
Yes.
All right. Oh, man.
This is your last question, right? I believe it's 5.
I've got like a 1 in 9 chance, though, right?
You do have a 1 in 9 chance.
That's true.
You know,
Come
one
on.
it probably isn't.
Kinemon?
No, it's not Kinemon. It is the one you'd always forget. Shutenmaru is the first one who gets stabbed. So that's it for Alex. The score right now, tie 2-2 for Liam, and Ed has 1. Joe,
That one sucked.
your random number today is 658. And before I even get to it, what arc is it in?
I'm gonna guess. Oh gosh, this sounds really close between Fishman Island and Punk Hazard, and I'm like, this happened to me last time I was on the trivia too. I'm gonna go with Fishman Island.
It's the other one. It's Punk Hazard.
Damn it. Okay, well at least I know Punk Hazard better.
Which cover story is in this chapter?
Oh gosh, cover story. I think was this Decks of the World?
It is. Good job there,
Okay.
Joe. Okay, let's get into the chapter itself here. We're in 658. 658 again. This chapter, I think, is one of the first we are introduced. Well, here, wait. Actually, let me do. Oh, here we go. Luffy kicks a centaur man this chapter with a little help from Robin. What?
It's half man, half centaur.
What? Oh, so sorry. Robin hits one that is half giraffe, but what is Luffy's? What is the one Luffy kicks in the face? What animal is that?
I believe he's half cheetah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that
Okay.
cheetah or leopard. It looks like. I think that's acceptable.
They both have spots.
Yeah.
Same animal.
Shut up. Is that the third time I've said that this podcast?
All right, I've lost count.
Smoker lands his boat from G5 on this ordinal direction of the island. So, one of the 8 possible choices.
Okay, well, I'll just assume that the hot side is north, so I will say southeast.
No, somehow the cold side is north, and he
Oh, okay.
I think landed on the cold side. Northwest is where
He
he
did,
at
yeah,
least
he
is
did have the cold
passing.
side.
That was a hard one, so I'll give you a slightly easy one. Nami says probably one of her most poignant lines in Punk Hazard during this arc. Do you know what that line is in this chapter?
Oh, let's see. If it's the one I'm thinking of, it's something like "I'll never run when a child is crying."
Perfect.
Okay.
That's it.
I thought it was going to be, I have a weakness for female Marines.
No, that's the end of Punk
That's
Hazard.
later. Yeah, this is early on. That is also a good one.
Yeah.
So I think that was 5 questions, right? Joe, you have 3 points. You are in the lead.
His arc.
Ooh.
Steve, your chapter, and all you need is 3 points, is 901.
Oh.
When can that possibly have taken place?
Okay, well, I'm not gonna tell you that, but I'll ask you instead. This chapter, since it's you, Steve, I could ask this question. This
Oh, yeah,
chapter referenced a movie in a really disturbing way in our podcast title. Do you remember what it was called?
I don't listen to One Piece podcast.
Oh, okay, good point. Good point.
Oh God, no, I don't think I'm gonna be able to come up with an answer for that.
Okay. That was a harder start here, but I can't ask you what our-
901.
901.
901.
901.
Oh, what's the name of the movie? It's the director. It came out not too long ago.
Yep. It came out whenever this
Was it
this chapter came out.
Del
Yeah.
Toro, right?
Yes, you're right. You don't remembers the director of the movie we made fun of, but not the title or the name.
It Wadatsumi is in the title.
Yes,
Because
yes,
water's in it.
yes,
What the hell's the name of that movie?
yes.
It's a good movie.
Oh
It
yeah,
is.
yeah. I remember this.
Now everyone else knows the answer.
My finest work.
Yeah, this was your. Was this your Photoshop?
I photoshopped
Alex?
this.
Oh my God, what's the name of that stupid movie? She bangs the fish man.
Yes, it's that one.
It's
Are you giving up here, Steve?
it's I think I'm getting confused with Life of Pi. That's not the
No, it's not that one.
Blank, blank, blank Wadatsumi.
Yeah, that's right.
Some
Don't do that to
something-
him.
Something under. Yeah, no, I know it's a 3-word title. I just don't know what.
No,
frick it's called.
it has nothing to do with underwater. The title, like you're 100% correct about everything.
Above water.
Okay, Alex, do you want to give
Uh,
it to him, or do you want one more second, Steve?
I can't think of it.
Alex,
Kick
tell
myself
him.
in the ass.
It's the shape of Wadatsumi.
Yeah,
Ah.
couldn't remember the Guillermo del Toro Oscar winner.
And everybody knows that shape is a
God.
balloon shape.
I was thinking Benicio del Toro, and I was like, I don't know this movie.
I almost said Benicio del Toro by accident. So,
Okay, Steve, next question. This is the cover story for this chapter.
I'm pacing myself here. Oh, it wasn't Oh My Family. Oh, that was still the Straw Hat Alliance.
Correct.
Yeah.
At which part?
Well, I was about to ask, it features someone from a very, very recent flashback as far as this is concerned. So, in the Whole Cake Island arc. Which character, all grown up, is featured on this cover story?
Wait. Oh, so you said a character
Very
That's on this
recently
cover page
featured
was
in
in-
Whole Cake Island in a
in Big Mom's
backstory. In
flashback.
Big Mom's flashback. It's featured
Oh,
on this
God.
cover story, all grown up.
The name?
It's I feel like the obvious answer is Haruden, but I'm gonna say it's Gerd.
It is Gerd.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Good job.
Yes,
Steve.
member of the Ginyu Force.
Yeah.
Question number 3. What island does Big Mom pass out in happiness after eating the cake from Sanji? So far, you're 2 for 2, so not bad. So
Oh man, where were they going? Not Nuts Island.
that's Nuts Island.
It's
Sorry, that's
isn't it
Island.
Cacao Island again?
That
Oh no, it isn't.
No, it isn't. Cacao Island is in this chapter, but not. That's not where she passes out of happiness. Does anyone know this? This is a hard one, actually.
I thought it
Fluffy,
was Cacao, yeah.
Fluffy Island is the answer. This character made one of the first episode titles of this arc for the One Piece podcast. He shows up again inexplicably in this chapter.
This is mean. He shows up inexplicably in this chapter. So you guys are doing Impel Down. Wait, how early is early?
No, this guy inexplicably shows up from the beginning of Whole Cake Island that arc. He shows up again here at the end inexplicably.
Oh, that's freaking
Yeah.
Pescado, Minister of Gelato.
You want to say that again?
Is it Pescado? Not. It's the Minister of Gelato. What's his name? Moscato.
Moscato. Should I even give that to him, folks? I don't even know.
Oh, give me a break.
Wait, did I give him? Which other? So that was actually only 2, I think, because I didn't give you a point for the shape of Wadatsumi. So that was question 4.
No.
This is the last question. You need this one to
How many
tie.
have I gotten right?
2.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Last question. You
I
ready?
didn't get Shape of Wadatsumi and I didn't get Fluffy Island. Yeah, okay.
Okay. What the fuck is that thing?
How you doing, Zach?
I'm doing good. I'm doing okay. Problem. I'm trying to figure this. I'm not going to ask a question about this, but this is the weirdest fucking thing.
So
Big
do I
Mom
win?
is like riding on top of like this weird slime-looking creature in this chapter. I have no idea what it is, and it has a crown.
That's made by Perospero.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
but it doesn't have a
'cause she loves
name.
Zeus.
It doesn't have a name? Come on. What are you
Do I
even
win?
doing here? Okay. This chapter ends with a proclamation from this character.
Proclamation.
A proclamation about something he has seen here today.
Oh, is it Big News Morgans?
It is Big News Morgans. So,
Ah.
Joe and Steve have tied. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back and forth. I'm going to pick a random number, and we're going to finish this shit up. Chapter 389 is our random chapter. Okay? You guys ready?
Okay.
Joe is going to go.
So how do we?
Joe is going to go
okay.
first. The first one to get it wrong, if the other person got it right, loses. You know. Anyway,
Yes.
Joe, you get the first question. What arc is this in?
You said 389.
Is Joe there, or is Joe thinking?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
I
can hear you.
Yes.
Oh. Did you say 389?
389.
Okay. I feel like that is Skypea.
No, it is
No.
NES Lobby.
Oh, okay.
How come I can't answer that question?
No, that's not how
New question.
that's not how it works. New question for
I would have
Steve.
ended this mercilessly.
I know. I'm just like, I'm gonna lose this.
mercifully.
Steve, if you get this right, you win. What cover story is in this chapter?
That would have to be Miss Golden Weeks.
Correct, you win.
I think I gave that away earlier.
You did.
That would have been my guess.
It's
anyway,
the one
I
with
think.
Mr.
It's-
Two
yeah.
kicking Django and Full Body. So Alex's
That
favorite
is such
page.
like that is an underrated cover story.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
It is
it's amazing.
So good.
Oh yeah, with
really
where Mr. One is dressed like he looks a lot like
Oh yeah, I know. What you're
like
saying.
Vulcan as the superhero.
The superhero
Yeah.
outfit.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's gonna
That
do it.
is-
I think
It's
that,
really good.
that was an exciting one this week. Thank you all for sticking around for all that, especially Liam. Please check out Liam's channel if you have not. We'll see you next week with Steven. Again, One Piece Magazine Volume 10. My name is Zach.
My name is Ed. What?
Anyone else? Steve or Alex?
Steve?
Oh, my audio cut out. I'm sorry.
How dare you? We'll see you next week, everyone. Bye, Alex.
Hey, my name is Alex.
Oh,
My name's Steve.
Bye.
Zach could easily edit this, but he's like, no, I'm mad because Steve won my trivia.